Let me take you back 4.5 billion years ago, during what is known as the Hadean Eon. The solar system is young, being only around 100 million years old by this time. The young sun glowing a dimmer light, being only around 30% dimmer than it is today. Planets like Earth and Venus are completely molten. Meanwhile, other planets such as Mercury and Mars are scorched and heavily volcanic. Leftover gases and dust fill space, giving the whole solar system a giant cloudy appearance. Alongside the youth of the solar system came chaos, with the most notable of these being that of the giant impact hypothesis, a colossal event in Earth's early development in which a protoplanet named Theia, that was around the size of Mars, collided with Earth. A collision so deadly in fact, and grand, that it gave birth to what we call today the Moon. Theorized to have formed in the inner solar system, Theia appeared around 4.5 billion years ago alongside all the other planets within our solar system, with an estimated mass of all the way from around 10 to 15% to 30 to 45% of the Earth, dependent on various models and estimates. Through studying lunar rocks on the Moon's surface, Theia's composition is also a subject of debate, with suggestions of Theia possibly forming in the more vast outer solar system. However, this is fairly speculative. Theia throughout its existence was always an odd planet, with Theia's chaotic and fairly unorganized orbit being the entire reason behind the collision between Earth and Theia, with theory suggesting that larger bodies such as either Jupiter or Venus highly influenced Theia into a sort of pertubing away from the Sun's orbit into a more chaotic orbit, sending Theia into a collision course for Earth. The collision between Earth and Theia was a grand event, with Theia slamming into Earth at an estimated 20,000 to 22,000 mile an hour, or around 32,000 to 35,000 kilometer an hour, with an unimaginable impact. This completely melted both planets, with both planets turning soft and molten in a matter of seconds, hurling massive amounts of debris into space and turning the surface of Earth into a global magma ocean, with anything from rock to metal to gas instantly vaporizing into space, with dense chunks of Theia sinking deep within the Earth's mantle that still survive today as massive blobs in the lower mantle of the Earth. As well as this, huge portions of the Moon were largely made up of this Theia debris, with the rapid impact being so fast, in fact, that it even sped up Earth's rotation so that the day of the collision only lasted around 5 hours. Shortly following the cataclysmic event that just unfolded, smaller yet notable portions of molten magma managed to escape being absorbed into the Earth, with the newly formed mass and gravity of Earth actually launching small amounts of molten debris into space, with some accounts even theorizing that for a very short time this caused a moment in which there were a second asteroid belt between Venus and Mars before both the Earth and the later Moon were formed, with the smaller masses of debris eventually moulding together into what we know now as the Moon, with this being further backed in 2020 when a study saw to some lunar rocks sharing a far different oxygen isotope composition to those that clearly matched rock on Earth, showing clear evidence for the Moon being made up of multiple planetary bodies. Scientists and historians even making a link between the event of the giant impact hypothesis to that of Greek mythology, with the name Theia originating from Theia, who was one of the Titans and goddess of the blue sky, and mother to the Titan goddess Selene, the goddess of the moon. Overall, the giant impact hypothesis is largely convincing and widely accepted among academics and scientists, with evidence of course lying in the lunar isotopic samples, as well as evidence in the Earth's peculiar axis in which it stands on, and the orbital alignment of both the Moon and Earth fitting well with the idea of a massive collision. And lastly, the giant blobs deep within the Earth's mantle, which modern geologists and geological simulations deem to be sunken remnants of a foreign planet, which would align greatly with a sorts of giant collision early into the Earth's development. And with that, that is the giant impact hypothesis. Tell me in the comments what you thought of the video, or if there's any kinds of videos you would want me to do in future, as I do read them all, so feel free to let me know. But with all that, I thank you for watching, and goodbye.